Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the JP Football Podcast. Big, big, big day today. And honestly, every time going forward in the future, it's always going to be a big day by towards the end of January and August 30th here in America, August 30th. Over in Europe, though, the UK, Spain, Germany, August 31st. But this is why today is such a big day, because today is the final day of the transfer transfer deadline. Okay, so any chance for Everton or United, PSG, any chance for any of these clubs to buy players and sell them, right? Today is the last day. There are mere hours left in the transfer deadline. Okay, today is deadline day. The deals have to come in. If you can't get your deals in, oh well, better luck next time, because the window closes at 11 p.m. in British summertime. Yeah, it closes at 11 p.m. British summertime. So by the time you're watching this video, it's pretty much, gonna be 30 minutes. Like, it's gonna be very, very, like, extremely close to shutting, or by the time you see this video, the deadline will be over already. And yeah, so everything I'm about to tell you right now relating to Everton transfer rumors and regards, everything I'm about to tell you right now, again, it's do or die now. It's do or die, because it's literally only 1.5, 2 hours left to go. So again, by the time you're seeing this video, you could check to see how many of these are true at the end, and I will be doing that myself. And then tomorrow we'll have a whole, transfer day, wrap up. But today it's the finale. It's transfer day. It's transfer day deadline. Okay, so let's waste no more time. Let's just jump right into it. So the first thing, Manchester United are open to offers on winger Dan James. United would do a loan or permanent deal. Now, Everton have had previous interest in Daniel James before, and several Premier League teams are now aware of his availability. This has come from The Athletic. Now, I believe this 100%. Again, with Ronaldo coming in and Rashford, Martial, Cavani, hell, even Lingard, Bruno Fernandes, like, United have so many attacking options that they do need to get rid of some of their lesser attacking players to, regain some money from the window, and, just to reinvest in general. And you just can't have too many on the squad because they're not going to get playing time. Dan James, I feel, is one of those players that he does need to make a move. Like Lingard, you need to get out of the club. You need to move to a different club if you want to see playing time in the Premier League, or you're just probably going to be reserved to cup games and not many starts at all. I can't see Everton going for Dan James, if I'm being completely honest. I don't really see it. Now, Dan James, the best attribute of Dan James is his pace. Dan James is a very pacey player. He's a very fast winger, and that's honestly his best attribute. Other than that, he's not, in my opinion, he's not too good at anything else. If Everton brought Dan James in, he would just be a discount younger version of Theo Walcott. He would be like the Welsh version of Theo Walcott, except younger. You know what I mean? Like, he's fast, he's pacey. That's cool. That's fun and all to watch, but he doesn't really have that great of an end product, which was the problem with Theo Walcott at Everton. Not saying Theo Walcott didn't score, he scored a couple of goals for us here and there, but again, he could have scored a lot more, but his just end product just wasn't that fantastic. That's the same thing with Dan James. End product, not all that fantastic. Yes, he would bring speed, he would bring pace, but we also have Demarai Gray, who brings speed and pace, but as we can see, he has an end product. But us bringing Dan James, I don't see it happening. Really don't see it happening. And plus, I read something recently that I think Leeds United are actually really close to finalizing a deal with him for like 28 million pounds or something crazy like that. And Dan James, in my opinion, would be a better fit at Leeds United than Everton, because I assume him being pacey and fast also means he's very fit. And as you know, I've said before, that Leeds United team is very fit and they do like to play fast. So I actually think Dan James would be a better fit at Leeds United than Everton. And I'd be happy if Everton didn't go for Dan James. So that's that. Moving on. So now, according to the Daily Express, a deal between Porto and Everton for winger Luis Diaz was in fact on the right track on Friday, but James Rodriguez is actually making the deal more complex. Luis Diaz wants to join Everton, and talks have continued over the weekend. Again, this is according to the Daily Express. If it's true that Luis Diaz wants to join Everton, yes, by all means. We only want players who want to join Everton, okay? Like, that's basic common sense, I feel. But James Rodriguez making the deal more complex or complicating it, I can actually see why. I can see that because, again, James Rodriguez is very injury prone. Very injury prone. You're only going to get maybe 20 games a season out of him if you're lucky, if you're lucky and if he's fit. And I think Porto know that. And I also think Porto know that James Rodriguez's wages are extremely high. He's getting paid a lot of money a week. And Porto might not have the finances to cover James Rodriguez's wages, which is probably why the deal is more complex and it's a lot more complicated than what it is. But however, again, it's running out of time, just running out of time to make this deal happen, running out of time to make this thing happen through. And, if it continues to just be more complex and confusing, I don't see it happening. I don't see Luis Diaz coming to Everton if the deal's being stalled over things like this. I'm glad he wants to join, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Again, I would love to see Luis Diaz at Everton. He would help the team tremendously a lot. Very talented young winger. And, again, I don't see James Rodriguez playing much or if at all this season. So getting a player to go to another club to play when he doesn't seem to be in the manager's plans, it's a good move for him. And then obviously we would play Luis Diaz a lot if we got him. So a good move for us. But again, as things stand, talks have continued over the weekend. Who knows if it'll actually go through? Unfortunately, I don't know if it'll actually go through. I don't really see it happening. So hopefully I'm wrong, but that's that. Moving on. Everton have made a second bid for Rangers right back Nathan Patterson, the 19-year-old right back. Top. I don't know if I think he's a highly rated prospect, but the bid has been rejected. I believe the bid was 8 million euros, which sounds about right. He's a young, up and coming, from Rangers as well, right back. And this is according to Paul Joyce, by the way, but it's rejected. I'm more excited for the right back transfers than I am for any other position. And 8 million euros for Nathan Patterson seems fair to me. It does. Again, he's young, 19, yes, he's a prospect, but I mean, that to me seems fair. We shouldn't be paying anything more than 10 million for him. Okay. Like that would be a bit much, but again, that's our second bid and it's been rejected. Now, if you don't know this, but I'm explaining right now, but the manager for Rangers is Steven Gerrard. All right. Steven Gerrard. And Steven Gerrard is a Liverpool legend. And as you all know, or if you're new, Evertonians and Liverpudlians, Everton and Liverpool hate each other. We hate each other. We're blood rivals. So Steven Gerrard, being a Liverpool legend and with all his connections to Liverpool, probably doesn't want to sell any of his players to Everton, especially if they're decent and good, like Nathan Patterson actually might be. And it's a position we need. So I saw on social media, what some fans were calling him like Slippy G or Slippy G or something like that. But yeah, look, if Steven Gerrard, the club is rejecting our 8 million euro bid for their 19-year-old right back, it sucks because we do need a right back, but it's Steven Gerrard, okay? He doesn't like Everton. We don't like him. Doing business with him in the first place is a bit dodgy, and I don't see it happening. So we can rule out ever getting Nathan Patterson from them, especially now with the deadline closing and whatnot. It's a lost cause, okay? It's a lost cause. And I don't want to talk any more about Steven Gerrard than I have to. So, oh well, moving on. Just moving on. Anyway, so moving on to another right back rumor, though. Arsenal have told Ainsley Maitland-Niles that they now want him to stay at the club, just like I predicted. And the right back wants to move to Everton. He wants to come to Everton, like Luis Diaz. And he is wanting to speak to manager Mikel Arteta about it. This is according to Paul Joyce as well. Now, again, I'm more excited about this transfer than the others because Ainsley Maitland-Niles would come to Everton and he would cover as right back for Seamus Coleman and he would get game time. Trust me, Ainsley Maitland-Niles would get playing time. He would get game time at Everton. And he actually posted on his Instagram story. he posted on his Instagram story that he literally posted on Instagram story that he just wanted to go where, you know, a club actually wants him, and he just wants to play where he wants to play. He said something along those lines, and he actually tagged Arsenal in this thing. Hence, you know, I feel like forcing their hand, like, hey, please let me go play where, you know, I'm wanted. And trust me, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, you are wanted at Everton. We want you. We want you here. We want you to play. But again, Arsenal have now told him, hey, we actually want you to stay. Again, which last video I thought was going to happen because Arsenal are in the complete shitter right now. 20th in the league. Obviously, they're not going to finish there, and they're going to improve. They're going to finish mid-table. But again, like I was saying, they need Ainsley Maitland-Niles a lot more than we need him, and we desperately need to cover right back. But they need him more because of how bad they're doing right now. So obviously something's not working. But they better play him. I better see Ainsley Maitland-Niles in a lot of Arsenal starting 11s if we don't get him, and we're probably not going to get him at this point. I better see him in a lot of starting 11s, or I'm going to be mad at Arsenal because, you know, you kind of false promise the player. Oh yeah, we actually want you to stay, you know, because we need you. How bad we're doing, but you know, we're barely going to play it. So yeah, Arsenal, I better see Ainsley Maitland-Niles playing a lot of football, you know, in the very, 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 very near future in these upcoming games, or else players going to be mad, players going to be frustrated, and hopefully Everton will have another go to get him when, you know, the next transfer window comes. But yeah, you know, unfortunately, I don't really see us getting Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I would love to have him, especially at this point, but just unfortunate that, you know, don't see it happening. Moving on then. Belgian side Standard Liège have held talks with Everton over a loan deal for Niels and Nkunku. This is according to DHNet via the Sport Witness. No, absolutely not. We should not be loaning Niels and Nkunku, and much less selling him. But it said loan. But we should not be loaning Niels and Nkunku, okay? If Lucas Digne gets hurt or he gets injured, okay, we have no cover at left back. We absolutely have no cover at left back whatsoever. Niels and Nkunku is literally pretty much the only legitimate left back we have other than Lucas Digne, okay? And Lucas Digne eventually throughout the season is going to need a break. You know, putting Niels and Nkunku in cup games or the odd Premier League game is what we're going to have to do, because Lucas Digne, whether he gets injured or not, he's going to need to take a rest eventually, okay? So, yeah, no, Everton should be looking to not loan Niels and Nkunku anywhere. So, and I don't believe they will. I really don't believe they will, which is very good because we need Niels and Nkunku to stay at Everton. So that's that. Moving on then. Now, according to AC Milan journalist Anto Vitiello, James Rodriguez is not a target for AC Milan. Now, there were rumors earlier that AC Milan wanted to sign James Rodriguez from Everton, I think whether it be a loan or a permanent deal. But according to one of their journalists, Anto Vitiello, apparently it's all rubbish, and he was never a target for AC Milan, and he's not. Which means to me, which is good, in my opinion, because that will keep us going with the Porto deal with Luis Diaz if that ever falls through. But, however, this doesn't seem all too great for James Rodriguez because, I mean, look, if the Porto thing doesn't go through, James Rodriguez is staying at Everton, you know, whether he likes it or not, and he doesn't seem to necessarily like it, okay? That kind of sucks. It kind of sucks for Everton and James Rodriguez because, you know, we have a potential, you know, world-class player who has amazing gifted technical abilities that we're not even going to use really because he doesn't seem to be a part of Rafa Benitez's plans. And then, you know, he's obviously going to be unhappy at the club, and, you know, we're paying him a shit ton of wages for doing nothing practically. So this doesn't seem to look good for any of the parties here. For James, for us, it just doesn't seem to be looking good. So again, the only way this will actually work out if a deal doesn't get done is if Rafa Benitez actually plays James Rodriguez every now and then, even as a super sub, you know, just play James Rodriguez, you know, like give the fans something to cheer about, make us, you know, make James realize we actually really would love to see him play in person, you know, and maybe he'll somehow want to stay at the club. But yeah, it's really unfortunate with James Rodriguez at the moment. And, you know, AC Milan saying, nah, he was never a target for us. There you go. So again, we'll see what happens within the coming hours till tomorrow. moving on. Now, Everton are trying to finalize a deal for Salomon Rondon. Negotiations are continuing with Dalian Professional. This is also according to Paul Joyce. Good. This is very, very good. We're trying to finalize that deal with Rondon because we do need cover for Dominic Calvert-Lewin because of Moise Kean leaving to Juventus, which I'm actually going to jump into next. I'm jumping into that one very next. But before I do, Salomon Rondon, let's get this deal done, Everton. Let's bring him in. Experienced backup striker to Calvert-Lewin, can help mentor him as well. So, yeah, there you go. And I do believe we actually will have the money to get Rondon potentially, especially if this next thing goes through. And I'm going to talk about this next thing because it is related to the Rondon dominoes. So domino effect, you get it. Anyway, so Moise Kean's move to Juventus is expected to be finalized this evening. It should be done by now, in my opinion. It should be done by now. But the Italian will go on an initial loan with an agreement to make it permanent, thank fuck, in a deal worth up to 35 million euros. Now, this is according to Sky Sports. Now, that's the kind of shit that I'm talking about. I don't like the loan thing. But again, an agreement to make it a permanent deal. If we're loaning him, but we make it a permanent deal, they're obligated to buy him at the end of the season for up to 35 million euros. That's a big win for Everton because the other day it was 20 or something, and I was really ticked off about that. But 35, I know it says up to 35 million, but think, if we could get 35 million from Moise Kean, that to me is a win. We can get at least 2-3 decent players with that money, if Everton are smart with spending their funds and finances. So I'm liking that. I'm actually kind of liking that deal. 35 mil, obligation to buy. If we send him on loan, that's fine. That's fine with me. Moise Kean, again, never seemed to really want to be at Everton Football Club in the first place. Now he's going back to Juventus, where we originally bought him from, where, I think he'll do good over there. I think Juventus is a good fit for him. Top Italian side, great teammates around him. So I wish the best for Moise Kean. That deal better fall through. It'll do both parties a great deal of justice. So I'm really hoping it falls through. Let's hope this deal falls through. My God. And with leading back to the Salomon Rondon thing, if Moise Kean goes, we bring Rondon in. There you go. You see it? Calvert-Lewin, Rondon instead of Calvert-Lewin, Kean. Anyway, now speaking of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, actually, so Dominic Calvert-Lewin has actually withdrawn from the England squad after picking up a thigh strain at Brighton. He had to be subbed off, and I think it was because of a knock he had picked up, and now he's pulled out of the England squad because of the injury obtained at the 2-0 win at the Amex at Brighton. Honestly, I'm glad Dominic Calvert-Lewin's doing this because I know it's a bummer. I know you want to play for your national team. I get that. But it's better that he's pulling out and treating this injury now, because when the international break is over for World Cup qualifiers or whatever the hell they're doing, when it's over, he should be fit and he should be ready to go in our next upcoming game against Burnley, because God, we're going to need Dominic Calvert-Lewin. We're going to need a fully fit, well-driven Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So I'm proud of Dom for doing that. Jordan Pickford is still in the England squad, by the way. So, yeah. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is basically all the transfer news and all the transfer talk that I have to, bring to you Everton-wise at the moment. Again, as far as big clubs go, I don't, necessarily know. I mean, I saw Norwich signed Ozan Kabak as one of the new center backs from Liverpool, I believe, which, great to me. I mean, as long as you don't play in a Liverpool shirt, I'm fine with you. But, that's Norwich. That's sticking with the Prem. There are rumors that Odsonne Edouard is going to Crystal Palace or something like that. But, yeah, that's all I've really heard. Again, as far as the big clubs go, I think they're pretty much done. And Mbappe is not going to Real Madrid, just like I said it wouldn't happen. So, yeah, that's kind of that. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we will see how many of these rumors and transfers are true leading up to tomorrow. But yeah, this has been the transfer day deadline talk for Everton. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you want me to talk about other clubs, other football clubs other than Everton, and if you want me to talk about the international break and World Cup qualifiers and what's going on with certain international teams, by all means, please, please, please leave it in the comments below and give your thoughts as well. And I am very happy, and I will talk about it the very next episode. So leave your comments down below. Also, please like the video if you've enjoyed, and subscribe to the channel as well. Turn on the bell notification so you don't miss a video. It really does mean a lot to me, means the world to me. I'm trying to have this channel grow, and you guys, every time you like and subscribe and spread the word for other people to do the same, it really helps and it really means a lot. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, again, that was your transfer day deadline video for Everton, and we will see what happens. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen.